Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? I offer my obeisances unto all the devotees who have assembled for today's session on Bhagavad Gita. Today we will discuss on some qualities that make us dear to Krishna. So what qualities will make us dear to Krishna? Krishna himself reveals it. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who cultivates these aspects of Vaishnava character becomes very dear to his heart. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks so many philosophical subjects, so many technical subjects. He talks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. He also talks about Prakriti, Purusha, Ishvara, Jiva, Kala, Karma, Gunas, three Gunas, and he also talks about the process of meditation and selflessness, and how this universe is created and destroyed periodically. Like that, Gita, he presents so many things. He talks about Paramatma, he talks about Brahman, he talks about Bhagavan. So Gita is a very, very concise yet comprehensive description of the most essential foundational principles of spiritual life, undoubtedly. Amongst all these amazing, wonderful topics, Krishna also talks about some qualities that a spiritual seeker or a devotee is supposed to develop so that one's journey towards the Supreme Lord becomes more effective and fast-paced. So as Krishna established repeatedly in several chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that Bhakti Yoga is the most effective path for spiritual advancement. And a Bhakti Yogi is one who exhibits several transcendental qualities which makes him Priya, very dear to Krishna. So Krishna talks about gunas, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna in Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna also talks about Sadgunas. Gunas are the modes of material nature, qualities of material nature. But Sadgunas means the qualities of exalted devotees. So we are supposed to transcend gunas by developing Sadgunas. Okay, we are supposed to give up our attachment to anything that is manifested under the purview of the three modes of material nature by developing good qualities that make us much closer to Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives a series of qualities that devotees are supposed to develop in the 13th chapter in 5 shlokas, and also in the 12th chapter in 8 shlokas, and also in 16th chapter in 3 shlokas. So this 3, 5, 8, total 16 shlokas. Of course, in these 3 sets, some qualities are repeated and there is an overlap in these sets. Nevertheless, we can understand from this repeated description of good qualities how much Krishna expects us to cultivate Vaishnava qualities like humility, compassion, gratitude, tolerance, equanimity, satisfaction, non-envy, self-control, means mind control and sense control, and many such qualities. So these qualities will make us dear to Krishna. So recently we were discussing one story. One devotee asked a question, and suddenly I remembered one story that I have read maybe more than a decade back. So once there was a aspiring disciple of a guru. So he used to stay in Vrindavan. So he wanted to take Diksha, initiation from a guru. So with an intense, deep desire, he went to the guru and said, my dear Gurudev, I wish to receive initiation from you. I am very inspired by your wonderful devotional qualities. I need Diksha from you. So the guru said, he's a very saintly person. He said, okay, I don't mind initiating you and accepting you as my disciple, but why should I do it? What qualifications do you have to become my disciple, to receive spiritual initiation? Now you should establish yourself as a qualified candidate for initiation. You should prove that you have the necessary qualities to receive Diksha. So I'm giving you 24 hours time. You go back and come tomorrow and you prove that there is at least one person who is inferior to you and you are better than that person. So you are supposed to establish your superiority over at least one person, one living being in this entire Vrindavan town, right? So when you establish yourself as more qualified than at least few people, at least one person, then I will accept you, right? I don't want anyone who is inferior. I want someone who has some good qualities. Then this disciple said, okay, Gurudev, if that's what you expect me to do in the next 24 hours, I'll find somebody who is less qualified than me, who is inferior to me, and I'll get back to you. Tomorrow you can initiate. So he came out and he was thinking, how do I find someone who is less qualified than me? So he came out of Guru's ashram and he found a rickshawala moving out. So he called the rickshawala, come here, rickshawala, you should take me to my home, I'll pay you. Then he boarded the rickshaw and the rickshawala is just pulling the rickshaw and then taking him to his home. So on the way, this man felt that, see, this rickshaw person is surviving by the payment that I am giving him, right? Unless I pay him for whatever service he has done, he won't be able to maintain himself. So definitely this rickshawala is inferior to me because I am paying him and he is receiving payment from me. So I am superior to him. I am more qualified than him. So I found a person. So Guru has given me 24 hours. It's not necessary to give 24 hours. Within 24 seconds, I can find somebody. he felt happy. So project is over. So by the time he reached home and he got down from the rickshaw and he made the payment, he realized, I could not come to my home on my own. This rickshawala brought me home. I could not come on my own. So means I did not have the ability to reach my home, but he is the one who helped me to come home. How can he be less qualified than me? He is more qualified than me. He is doing something which I could not do. That means he is better than me. So then he thought of entering his home. At the entrance of his home on the street, there were some vegetable sellers. They were just selling vegetables. Okay. So he went and then purchased some vegetables and made some payment. And then he was entering his home and he thought, oh, at least these vegetable sellers are less qualified than me. I'm more qualified than them, right? They did not give me any lift. They did not bring me home. I'm paying them and they're maintaining themselves. But later he thought, no, these people are nice farmers. They are growing food. They are growing vegetables. They are growing grains. And with so much of hard work, they are producing crops and doing all field work and then bringing all the vegetables and grains here and providing to me. And I am surviving. I don't have the ability to grow my own food. I am not doing any farming or agriculture. So definitely they are feeding me. All I have given is just few coins, but they have given me vegetables. I can't eat my coins, right? I can only eat vegetables. So they are providing. So they are definitely better than me. So then he started searching everywhere in Vrindavan, big project. But whomever he found, he saw that they are better than me in some way or the other, right? I am not qualified like them. They are more qualified than me, at least in some aspects. So how can I present them as examples to my guru? So I won't be able to do so. So he was very disappointed by the end of the day. He just could not find a single person. So he went to sleep. Next day morning, he got up. Then he was about to attend his nature calls and he went to pass stool. And then when he passed his stool, he found some worms in his own stool. Then he understood, at least I am more qualified than this worm in the stool, right? This worm in the stool is inferior to me. I am superior. Finally, I found somebody. So my guru did not put any condition that I should bring only human beings. I can even bring insects also. So better I present this as an example. But after a moment, he thought that I'm eating delicious foodstuffs. I'm eating Krishna Prasadam, right? And I'm converting that nice foodstuffs into stool. But this insect or worm in the stool is so expert that it is making a living out of it. I cannot make a living out of my own stool. This worm is able to do it. So this worm is doing something which I am unable to do. So I think worm is not inferior to me. In some aspect, worm is better than me. So he went to his guru. And guru asked him, okay, did you find at least a single person who is inferior to you? Are you able to establish that you are more qualified than at least one person in this entire Vrindavan town? Then this disciple said, my dear Gurudev, I am not qualified for initiation. I don't have a qualification to receive Diksha from you. Because in the last 24 hours, I just could not find even one single living being who is inferior to me. Anybody I meet, any insect that I meet, any non-living, any non-human being also I meet, I find that there is some good quality in them which is not there in me. I find that they are better than me in some way or the other. So it's a very big task for me to find someone who is inferior to me. I think I'm the least qualified in this entire Vrindavan town. So you please ignore my request. I'm not qualified. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. Then the Guru said, now you are qualified for Diksha. Now you are qualified for initiation. Why? Because feeling a sense of superiority complex, considering oneself more qualified than others, and seeing other people inferior to us is actually a disqualification for Diksha, not a qualification for Diksha. So you have that humility to find good qualities in others, even in insects, even in worms, even in vegetable sellers, even in rickshawalas, even by some beggar on the street. So you are very qualified for initiation. So as we are more spiritually advanced, the more spiritually advanced we are, the more we realize our insignificance. The more we become humble, the more we will be able to recognize Krishna's greatness and the greatness of other living beings who are actually amshas of Krishna. One who is really spiritually advanced considers oneself lowest amongst everyone, and this is not inferiority complex, by the way. This is a genuine acknowledgement of the greatness of Krishna and his children and his amshas and other living beings, and acknowledging one's own insignificance. So one who thinks oneself great is actually proud, and that pride or arrogance or overconfidence is something which is not very palatable to Krishna. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atmavinigraha. Amanitvam means humility, not expecting honor and worship and respect from others. Adambhitva means pridelessness, not being too anxious to become famous, right? So these are the foremost qualities of a knowledgeable person, what to speak of a devotee. One who is really knowledgeable, one who is really in knowledge, they understand, means they are aware of their insignificance, and one who is really one who does not have knowledge thinks that whatever he knows is everything. I don't need to know anything more. Enough knowledge I have. So that kind of arrogance or pride, subtle pride, is a disqualification to receive Krishna's mercy or Guru's mercy or a connection with another Vaishnava, right? So we need to be humble. So one who chants the holy names of Krishna always, Kirtaniya sada harihi, satatam kirtayanto mam, right in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, 9.14, Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam, means an advanced devotee or a Mahatma is one who always does kirtan, who always chants the holy names of Krishna. And before Satatam kirtayanto mam, Krishna also said, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. Mahatmas are those people who sincerely seek shelter of Srimati Radharani. They are under the protection and shelter of Srimati Radharani. So, what is Srimati Radharani's qualities? Srimati Radharani is so humble that whatever may be the amount of service that she renders to Krishna, she feels that there is something lacking in her. And she genuinely recommends another devotee. This devotee is better than me. Krishna, please accept him. Okay. So this is the mood of Srimati Radharani. And one who is under her shelter, sincerely, genuinely under her shelter, is always humble, cannot be proud, right? So taking shelter of Srimati Radharani and cultivating the quality of humility, and thus always chanting the holy names of Krishna is what will make us dear to Krishna. And Krishna repeatedly emphasizes this fact, Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam. So when you have humility, then you will be able to chant the holy names of Krishna. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, when someone praises Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu says, Vishnu, Vishnu, I should not be praised. In such assemblies, Prithumharad also says in the Bhagavatam, 4th canto, he says that in great assemblies, the Supreme Lord is supposed to be glorified, not an insignificant human being like me, right? So this quality of humility is the most essential quality that we need to cultivate to become dear to Krishna. Okay. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanaya sadaharihi. Trinadapi sunichena means one who is humbler than a blade of grass. Sunichena. So Kaviraj Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, he says that Sunichatva means humility, means considering oneself most unqualified uh, and not being proud and arrogant of one's qualities or good achievements or accomplishments, which are actually products of Krishna's mercy, is the quality of a Vaishnava, right? Amanitvam. So only in such a humble state of mind, sunichatva or dranadapi sunichena, we will be able to chant the holy names of Krishna always. Kirtanaya sadaharihi is possible to the degree we are having the quality of sunichatva. And by the way, this is not inferiority complex. It's a genuine acknowledgement of others' glory, others' greatness. So one who is always thinking of oneself as great cannot acknowledge another person's greatness. And even if it is so proved that other person is great, quite great, greater than you, a person who has no humility cannot accept it, right? So first thing, in the heart of the hearts, he is always convinced that I am greater than the other person. But even though there are hundreds and thousands of evidences that the other person is better than you, then this person feels that somehow or the other I should pull that person down. I should discourage the person. I should demean the person. I should degrade that person somehow. I should just pull him down. So that's the nature of an average conditioned soul in this material world. There is Ramachandra Khan at Benapol. He saw that Srila Haridas Thakur is a very, very popular and respected Vaishnava in that area. He just could not tolerate it. Ramachandra Khan was extremely envious of Haridas Thakur, and he felt that I think this person, this Haridas Thakur, is not supposed to be glorified so much when I am present here in this city. So I should somehow or the other defame him. So the nature of an envious person is another person at this height and this envious person is here. If he cannot reach that height, what will he do? Let me pull the other person down. That's what he does. Okay. So he tried to send a prostitute to pollute Haridas Thakur, or at least to defame Haridas Thakur, to prove that Haridas Thakur is associating with that lady, although externally he was in the garb of a great Vaishnava. He wanted to expose Haridas Thakur while he is with that prostitute. But you know what has happened? Haridas Thakur did not just get distracted by that prostitute, but in fact he converted her into a Vaishnavi, pure Vaishnavi. That she has given up her activities, profession, money, whatever wealth she has accumulated, she has donated everything to the Brahmanas, and she chanted Hare Krishna. She accepted Haridas Thakur as Guru and took inspiration from him and chanted Hare Krishna. So later Haridas Thakur told that prostitute, the very first day you came to meet me, I knew your intentions. And I also knew that that envious Ramachandra Khan had sent you as an instrument to defame me. I'm aware of this. But still, I stayed here. Actually, I planned to leave this place on that very day when he planned to send you here. But I did not leave. Why? Because I knew that you are coming here and I wanted to make you a devotee. Here is one prostitute who is into some unmentionable, abominable profession, activity, and she came with a malicious intention as an instrument of envious person to defame Haridas Thakur, to pollute him, to cause harm to his good reputation. But although she came with such a malicious intention, Haridas Thakur is thinking about her welfare. This is Vaishnava quality. To desire the welfare of even the most heinous person who tried to harm you in the most abominable way. For a pure Vaishnava to be proved that he's not even following four regulative principles is such a, my God, it is such a infamy. And she attempted to do that. But Haridas Thakur did not hate her, did not envy her, did not try to harm her, did not chastise her, become angry with her. He was very patient, very sober, very gentle. And on top of it, he desired her welfare. So when someone helps you, and in reciprocation, you also help that person, that's normal. It's general morality and ethics, right? But when someone is trying to harm you and still you help the person, that requires great Vaishnava quality. And that endears one to Krishna, right? So in the 12th chapter, Krishna gives a series of qualities. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha sama dukkha sukha kshami. First he says, Adveshta sarva bhutanam. One should not envy anyone. Dvesha means envy. Adveshta means one who is non-envious. Sarva bhutanam. Not that you are not envious of only this person or that person or that person. I am not envious of my brother. I am not envious of my sister. I am not envious of my parents. I am not envious of my friends. I am not envious of my family members. Not that. I am not envious of my country members. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. A Vaishnava is not envious of anybody in the entire cosmic manifestation. Whether they are demoniac, or noble, virtuous, or vicious, or malicious, or paramahamsas, whatever may be the category that the other living being belongs to, a devotee never hates the other person. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Not being envious of anyone, including those who are envious. They may envy me, that's their problem. But I should not envy them. This is my responsibility. Right? That's the mood of a Vaishnava. It's easier said than done. But we need to do it somehow or the other. We need to come to that stage of doing it. Don't desire harm for anyone else. That too, if you desire harm for another Vaishnava, there cannot be anything more heinous than that. Right? So what if another devotee misbehaves? What if another devotee hurts me? What if other devotees behave or speak or act in ways that are not very impressive or not very appropriate? Yeah, if it is your responsibility, take a necessary action or give a feedback or do something. Don't hate them. Don't envy them. Don't hold grudge upon them. Don't have bitter feelings towards them. Right? Be a genuine well-wisher. Right? Even if they don't listen to you, although you are speaking with a well-wishing intent and they are not listening to you, they are arrogant, still you can pray for them. That's what Prahlad Maharaj did. So Prahlad Maharaj tried to educate Hiranyakashipu, but Hiranyakashipu never heard. He continued to maintain his envious feelings. He even tried to kill Prahlad in 100 different ways. But Prahlad only prayed for the welfare of Hiranyakashipu. Lord Narasimhadev asked Prahlad that you take whatever benediction you want. I'm ready to give you. Then Prahlad said, my dear Lord, don't tempt me with material boons. I don't want anything from you. You are my eternal master and I'm your selfless servant. Let this be our relationship. I don't want anything else from you. But Prahlad thought for a while and said, I want one thing. Right? You wanted to give me one boon, right? I want one boon. What is that? Please show some mercy on my father. He became envious of me. He became envious of you. And he performed so many abominable activities. But please forgive him and show some mercy upon him. That's the only desire he had. No other desire. Right? He could have asked, make me Brahma. Or make me greater than Brahma. Like Dhruva Maharaj desired like that. Okay. So he could have asked anything from Narasimhadev. But Prahlad did not have any other desire other than just one thing. Please forgive my father. Please show mercy on my father. So this is the extent to which a Vaishnava is non-envious. And in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, Prahlad also prays to the Lord that Swastyastu Vishwasya Khalaha Prasidatam. Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya. He says, let there be auspiciousness for all the envious villains in this planet. Let there be auspiciousness for all of them. Okay. And let everyone meditate on the welfare of everyone else. Means he's not just non-envious on his own. Means he himself is non-envious, that is there. But it's not just that he alone is non-envious. He is desiring that everyone should become non-envious. He is desiring that everyone should become a well-wisher of other people. This is the degree to which a devotee becomes non-envious. Adveshtaha sarva bhutanam. Maitraha, karuna evacha, very friendly to everyone. Karuna, very kind and compassionate and merciful to everyone. Right? Nirmama, there is no sense of proprietorship. There is no sense of possessiveness. A devotee is one who may have hundreds and thousands of possessions, but is not possessive about the possessions. Right? Real humility or real detachment is not giving up possessions. It is giving up possessiveness over possessions. There are so many great kings. There are so many Maharajas, emperors, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj. All these people are great emperors and they had so many possessions. They were equipped with Janma, Aishwarya, Shrutaha, Shrihi. But there is no Mada. Mada means intoxication, pride. People become puffed up because of their Janma, high birth, Aishwarya, lot of wealth, Shruta, education, Shri, beauty. These four material qualifications can increase pride in the hearts of common people. But despite having these four great material qualifications, a Vaishnava, a devotee is one who is never proud of them, never puffed up, never intoxicated. Janmaishwarya Shrutashribhihi edhamana madaha puman naivarhatya abhidhatum vai tvama kinchana gocharam. Naiva arhati abhidhatum vai. Such a person is unqualified, no arhata. Arhata means qualification. So a person who is puffed up, a person who is proud has absolutely no qualification to be at the lotus feet of Krishna. Right? So the very possessions that he or she has, because of which they become proud, will become a disqualification. So they are thinking that this Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri as qualifications to attain Krishna's mercy, but they are the most dangerous disqualifications to attain Krishna's grace. Right? So nirmama, there is no sense of proprietorship, there is no sense of possessiveness, there is no sense of pride or puffed up nature because of the possessions. Right? When we are too possessive about things, when we are too proud of things that we have, we inevitably look down upon those people who do not have it, who do not have these privileges, possessions. I have so much wealth. I have $100 million. And he has only $1. I have 1,000 followers. I have 1,000 million followers. He has 10 followers. Right? I'm better than him. Dhanam sundarim. Janam. Dhanam janam sundarim. So wealth will make us proud. Followers will make us proud. And sundari means association with opposite gender for sense gratification and access to association of the opposite gender for sense enjoyment. Right? For high grade sense enjoyment, that will also make one proud. Right? So one who gives up all this is a real renunciant. Okay, not just giving up possessions, but giving up possessiveness over the possessions. Prabhupada says, when somebody gives up a great palace and goes to the forest, you cannot call him a renunciant. Because palace doesn't belong to him, forest also doesn't belong to him. What did he give up? He should give up whatever is his possession, not something which does not belong to him. Forest, did it belong to him? No. Palace, did it ever belong to him? No. Right? On paper only. It's not his eternal property. So what is your eternal property? Whichever species you are in, whichever lifetime you are in, you are holding on to something. It always comes with you. What is that? that is ego, false ego. Give that up. That's the only possession that we have, right? So give up that false ego. Give up that sense of possessiveness. Give up pride. Give up that sense of superiority complex over others. That is real renunciation. A renunciant is one who has renounced the false ego and false pride, and not one who has renounced some money or wealth or bungalows or possessions or other things which never belong to him anyways, right? Nirahankaraha. Ahankara. We should give up ahankara. So ahankara means false ego. Identifying with something which doesn't belong to us, which we are not. Many times in this conditioned world, people identify themselves with body. This body belongs to me. This body is so beautiful. I need to maintain the body so nicely. I should look nicely. So of course, we don't have to present ourselves in an ugly manner in the name of detachment. So you should be presentable. That's fine. You should take baths. You should wear fresh clothes. This and that is fine. But one should responsibly maintain the body, but one should not identify oneself with the body. One should responsibly fulfill all the duties that one is supposed to do while being in a position, but one should not be attached to that position, right? So take responsibility, don't be possessive, okay? Because even in devotional service, even while practicing a spiritual path, even while doing bhakti yoga, we may become very attached to our possessions and positions, right? When we are given certain positions in the service of Krishna, we over-identify ourselves with the positions and we may forget our service attitude. So our greatest eternal asset is our own attitude or inclination to perform service to Krishna. So let us maintain our service attitude, and according to time, place, circumstances, the nature of services will keep on changing. So one should be detached enough to give up one service and take up another service according to the need of the hour, according to the instructions of superiors, right? So that will make us dear to Krishna. Hanumanji, he did so much service, tremendous amount of service in Ramayana. He found Sita Devi, he burnt Lanka, he assisted Lord Ramachandra so effectively in the war, Lanka war. When Ram and Lakshman fainted, he went to Himalaya and got Sanjeevani and revived the Lord, right? So to that degree, he was given prominence in Ramayana. But when it came to Mahabharata, the role that was given to Hanumanji was to sit on Arjuna's flag, okay, and bless him, just give him blessings. One more duty for you. Bhima is the great warrior. He is the chief warrior on the side of Pandavas. When he roars, you also join him and roar. That's all. For a great warrior like Hanumanji, who can make a pulp chutney out of all Kauravas in the Kurukshetra war within few minutes. If he just expands his size into 100 yojanas and then just walks from this corner of the battlefield to that corner of the battlefield, then all the people are completely destroyed. The thousands and thousands of soldiers on the side of Duryodhan could have been destroyed by Hanuman within a moment. Okay. But Hanumanji was not given that role. He said, just bless Arjuna, roar along with Bhima. That's the role given to him. Okay. And Hanuman just gratefully accepted that role. In the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, Prahalad was given prominent role. When all the devatas failed to appease Narasimhadev, Prahalad came forward and then he appeased Narasimhadev. Right? And but in the 8th canto, Bali was given prominence. Prahalad was in a side role, right? Vamanadev said, Prahalad, you go to Sutalok. Okay, and he went. So sometimes we may be asked to take a prominent role in Krishna's service, and sometimes we may be asked to maintain a low profile in Krishna's service. We should be willing to do both. Ultimately, we are here to develop love for Krishna, and that love can be expressed in any way. It's not that someone who is standing in the front line only is a great lover of Krishna. Someone who is standing behind has no love for Krishna. Not like that, right? So we need to do the needful in Krishna's service with love, with affection, and that's all, nothing else, right? So we should cultivate the detachment. Basically, when we are just carried away by so many external things, we will lose focus on what truly matters. What truly matters in life is how much love for Krishna have we developed, right? Now somebody may be in 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever. By the end of one's life, active years of one's life, after rendering so much service, one should reflect, okay, I have done this, I have done that, I have done that. I have so many feathers on my cap. Some caps are so huge that the person may be completely covered by the cap only, right? Yeah, you can do so many things in Krishna's service, but the point is not to increase feathers on the cap, but increase love for Krishna in the heart, right? Don't focus on the cap, focus on the heart. Don't see above the head, but see inside the heart, right? So inside the heart, how much love did I develop for Krishna? Doesn't mean that we ignore services. We'll just sit and do some nirjan bhajan, sit in some corner and then chant Hare Krishna. I'm developing Krishna prema through Krishna nama. Sufficient. I will not do any seva. That's not the point. We should do service. We should do our best. We should take ownership of services, thinking that I am not the owner. Krishna is the owner, but I'll take ownership of this particular service because I was asked to do this service. So in this way, when we maintain an attitude of humility, surrender, commitment, responsibility in service, while maintaining the quality of detachment, freedom from possessiveness, freedom from proprietorship, freedom from false ego, then that's a perfect balance while practicing spiritual life, right? That's what Krishna says. Nirahankara, nirmama. Nirmama, nirahankara. No possessiveness, no ego. Sama dukkha sukha kshami. Sama dukkha sukha means one should have that equanimity in happiness and distress. Till now, I was only elaborating just a couple of slokas. So, to do justice to all slokas, we'll need series of classes. Okay. So, sama dukkha sukha kshami. Dukkha is distress, sukha is happiness. Right. So, we need to maintain that equanimity towards happiness and distress on a material plane. Because happiness is temporary, distress is also temporary. Happiness is material, distress is also material. So we should not be attached to anything material. Yes, if there is a happy moment, you can rejoice it. Great. If there is a distressful moment, we have to deal with it. Great. Do the needful. As long as we are in the material world, deal with the dualities smartly, expertly, diligently, intelligently, gently. Deal with them. However, don't lose focus on what truly matters, what really matters. What really matters is how much are we loving Krishna? How much are we genuinely connecting with Krishna? When I go in front of the deities, am I seeing the deity as a person or as a doll? Am I just getting caught up with the decorations on the deity? Or am I feeling that supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, my protector, my master, my controller, my beloved well-wisher, he is standing there. I'm supposed to develop love for him. Whatever I'm doing in my life is meant to be a service to him. Whatever I do is only for his satisfaction. Some siddhir haritoshanam. Am I acting in that mood? Am I cultivating that attitude? These are the questions that we need to ask every now and then. Then we are advancing in bhakti, right? So sama dukkha sukha. Don't get so overwhelmed with the happiness and distress on a material plane. Don't become so overwhelmed with success and failure on a material plane. Don't become so overwhelmed with the dualities of this material world. Deal with them responsibly. But there's something higher than that. It's not worth our mind space to think too much about the dualities. Yes, it's not that easy to come to this level, but we need to take our baby steps to come to that level. It doesn't happen overnight, but someday it has to happen, right? Right? Yeah, it takes some time, we understand, but someday it has to happen. If we are getting overly affected and overwhelmed by material happiness and material distress, when are we ready for a spiritual platform? Right? When we become oblivious to the material happenings in this world, then we are ready for a spiritual platform. That's what Krishna says. Yam hi navyatha yantyete purusham purusharshabha samadukha sukham dhiram somrutatvaya kalpate. Samadukha sukham dhiram, Krishna uses this word, this samatva, equanimity, several times in Bhagavad Gita. You can go and count. Not once or twice. Multiple times he uses. Samadukha sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpate. And here in the 12th chapter again, samadukha sukha kshami, he says. Again in the 2nd chapter, he says, samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga means samatva. What is yoga? Yoga means connection with Krishna. Right? To link our consciousness with Krishna. That is yoga, right? But Krishna says, samatvam yoga uchyate. For you to effectively be in yoga, be in union with Krishna, be in connection with Krishna, to link with Krishna, for you to effectively do that yoga, you need to maintain samatva. Samatvam yoga uchyate. This samatva, equanimity towards happiness and distresses in this material life, that will take you to the spiritual consciousness. If every small difficulty we are getting overwhelmed, every small happy moment we are getting overelated, that keeps us in the material realm for a longer time. So as we are spending more and more years in bhakti, we need to sincerely introspect. Where am I heading? What am I doing? Am I developing these qualities to become dear to Krishna? Samadukha sukha kshami. Am I forgiving another devotee when they do some mistakes? Right? So externally we may tolerate. When somebody causes some inconvenience, we may tolerate. But internally, are we forgiving? So internal forgiveness manifests as external tolerance. Tolerance of others' activities without a forgiving heart inside will not survive for long. We may tolerate once or twice, thrice, 10 times. After that, we'll just bounce back. But there are some people who may forgive at heart, but they may become strict and then reply back in the first time only. There may not be tolerance externally, but there is forgiveness inside, right? So that's what very exalted Vaishnavas do sometimes. Prabhupada, when some disciples do some mistakes, Prabhupada may chastise them. But at heart, he doesn't have any bitter feelings. He may not tolerate their mistakes, but internally he's forgiving them, right? So one should cultivate this tolerance and forgiveness both. So tolerance means not tolerating nonsense, tolerating realities, right? On a personal level, if there is happiness, distress, success, failure, victory, defeat, we should tolerate. Honor, dishonor, that we should tolerate. But when something inappropriate is happening, don't tolerate it. But at heart, you forgive the person, right? So, santushtaha, satatam yogi, be satisfied. Satisfaction is one very, very important quality that we need to cultivate. Once His Holiness Sachinandana Swami Maharaj was asking how to accomplish this self-control, right? How do we have self-control? So different devotees are saying different things. We need to control the mind. We need to do this. We need to do that. But Maharaj gave his answer. When you're satisfied, you're automatically controlled. So satisfaction of the heart is most important. And how do we get satisfaction? Yeah, satisfaction on a bodily plane comes by eating, hearing some pleasant music, eating palatable food stuff, sleeping on a soft bed. That is like physical satisfaction, bodily satisfaction. That's fine. We are not talking mainly about that. You need to do the needful. But the real satisfaction is satisfaction of soul, not just satisfaction of body, satisfaction of mind, satisfaction of intelligence, satisfaction of ego. Okay. So this satisfaction on the gross bodily plane and subtle bodily plane may be required to some degree, but that is not the ultimate satisfaction. Ultimate satisfaction is satisfaction of the soul. And how will soul be satisfied? Soul be satisfied by unmotivated and uninterrupted service to Krishna. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The parodharma, the supreme occupation of all living beings, is unmotivated, selfless service to Krishna, which is done without any interruptions or inconsistencies or irregularities. Regularly serving Krishna, consistently serving Krishna without any selfish agendas. That will bring complete satisfaction of heart, right? So we need to cultivate that satisfaction. We need to seek satisfaction in sincerely serving Krishna and not seek satisfaction in recognition. Don't seek satisfaction in recognition for one's service. Seek satisfaction in participation in a service to Krishna, right? So devotee always likes to participate in Krishna's seva, not just getting claps, whistles, appreciation. Yes, if someone appreciates you, you can feel encouraged to do more service. That's fine to that degree. You can accept appreciation as a blessing. Oh, this devotee is pleased with my service and is appreciating, and it's a blessing for me. I'm very happy that I got this acknowledgement that this devotee is pleased with my service. That's why he's appreciating. But that appreciation should not increase pride in us. It should encourage us to do more seva, right? So see appreciation as an acknowledgement, as a blessing, okay, as a feedback, and don't take that appreciation to become falsely proud, right? So when someone is little depressed or feeling very low, some genuine appreciation from others will help one continue service with some more inspiration, right? So to that degree, genuine appreciation for one's spiritual service has some role. And although we should not expect appreciation from others, we should give appreciation to others. Thus, let us do the service of appreciating others. And when others appreciate us, take it in the right spirit, not to become puffed up. Transfer that appreciation to Guru Krishna Parampara, right? And take that as an encouragement to do more seva. Take it as an acknowledgement that others are accepting the service nicely, right? They're happy with the service. So to that degree, it's fine. But satisfaction in wrong sources will only not allow us to relish Krishna, to relish the path of bhakti properly, right? We should always find the right sources of satisfaction. Right source of satisfaction, ultimate source of satisfaction, eternal source of satisfaction is Krishna Smarana, which is based on Shravanam and Kirtan. When we sincerely seek that inner fulfillment in chanting the holy names of Krishna and in hearing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories, that's the real inner fulfillment. And in comparison to that real, genuine inner fulfillment, no amount of praise or fan following or wealth or position or prestige will satisfy us, right? So as Krishna says in the future verses, Mayi arpita mano buddhir yomad bhaktaha same priyaha, right? Yatatma dradhanishchayaha mayi arpita mano buddhir yomad bhaktaha same priyaha. So that devotee becomes very dear to me. Who is the devotee who has all these qualities? Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukha kshami santushtaha satatam yogi yatatma dradhanishchayaha. Mayyarpita mano buddhir yo mad bhaktah sami priyah. If we have to become dear to Krishna, let us cultivate these qualities. And Krishna gives a bigger list in the 12th chapter and in the 13th chapter and in the 16th chapter. So that will make us progress on the path of bhakti in a very effective manner. And without cultivating these Vaishnava qualities, our progress may be hampered. Okay. So apart from doing so many services, we should also keep a watch on, am I improving in my qualities? I didn't speak much about gratitude. There's many more qualities, but it's important that we cultivate these qualities so that we become dear to Krishna. Thank you very much. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.